In 2022, India became the fifth largest economy in the world. This achievement sparked a lot of positivity, with many people seeing India as a future economic giant. But when we look at the income per person, that is GDP per capita, in the top 5 emerging economies, India still has a long way to go to become a global superpower. Although India's economy has grown impressively, it still trails behind China, its main competitor. According to the World Bank, back in 1980, India's economy was about 64% the size of China. But by 2001, when China joined the World Trade Organization, India's economy had shrunk to just 28% of China's size. If India had matched China's growth over the past 40 years, its economy today might have been worth $10 trillion instead of $3.47 trillion. Unfortunately, this isn't the case. On the brighter side, India overtook China in terms of population, but projections say it won't have a larger workforce until around mid-century, despite its younger population. India has a very young population, with over 50% under the age of 25 and more than 65% under 35. This youth can be both a strength and a challenge for the country. Recent data from the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy shows that the unemployment rate has been around 7 to 8%, up from about 5% over the last 5 years. Also, the percentage of people either working or looking for work has dropped to below 40% from 46% 6 years ago. A worrying statistic is that the unemployment rate among young people in India is 40%, much higher than the overall rate of 6.5% as of January 2024. If we also consider adult women in households, the unemployment rate would be even higher. Interestingly, if India could match female unemployment rates to male levels, it could add 235 million workers. This number surpasses the entire workforce of the European Union and is more than enough to staff all factories across the rest of Asia. Such a change could make India 27% wealthier, according to the International Monetary Fund. In many developing countries, a family's social standing can improve if women stay at home. But India's situation is unique. Its rate of female participation in the workforce is much lower than other countries with similar income levels. Bangladesh, for instance, has seen a 50% increase in working women since 2005 due to its booming garment industry. In Vietnam, 3/4 of women are employed, helped by the presence of large factories that hire many women. In contrast, India lacks such large-scale employment opportunities, which limits job options for everyone, especially women. India's celebrated high growth rates aren't leading to job creation, and a major reason for this is the inadequate education system and job training. Many local degrees and certifications are not valued by employers. Only 20% of young adults between 25 and 34 years old work in high-skill fields like medicine or advanced research, and vocational programs that could help bridge this gap are lacking. The root of the problem is underinvestment in critical areas. The Indian government spends only about 2.5% of its GDP on education from primary through post-secondary levels. This is quite low compared to countries like Brazil and South Africa. Spending on healthcare is also minimal at only 2% of GDP, placing India amongst the lowest globally in public health investment. This underfunding has significant repercussions. India is failing to provide 2 essential components for its people's development: education and health. Labor productivity, consequently, is on the decline. Labor productivity is crucial as it determines how much an economy can produce with the same amount of work. Higher productivity means more goods and services can be produced, which usually leads to better living standards and lower prices for consumers. When comparing productivity among BRICS countries, India has the lowest GDP per hour worked, indicating a severe lag in efficiency that affects overall economic health. China's productivity surged in 2000 largely due to the decisiveness of its leaders. When Chinese officials decided to dam a river, build a road, or relocate a village, these projects swiftly moved forward. While displaced villagers may receive compensation, they don't have the options to block these developments. This approach allows China to make strategic decisions that consider the long-term needs of the entire population, leading to rapid and sustained economic growth that has dramatically reduced poverty. India, in contrast, faces significant challenges. Infrastructure like roads and power supply, along with public services such as education and access to clean drinking water, are severely lacking, hindering economic growth. While India is celebrated for its top computer scientists who gain international recognition, most children in rural areas don't receive the basic education necessary to secure more productive employment. This situation raises a crucial question. Other Asian economies have sustained high growth rates of 8 to 9% for extended periods by heavily investing in education and infrastructure. So why hasn't India? Despite a noticeable growth in fixed capital formation, which includes investments in land improvements, machinery, and construction of key infrastructures like roads and railways, investment levels have decreased from 36% to 29% since 2007. This decline reflects a broader struggle to match the development pace of its East Asian counterparts. Several issues have contributed to the decrease in India's fixed capital formation, such as policy uncertainty, financing challenges, a decline in private investment, and a slowdown in the banking sector. However, the most significant issue is the drop in foreign direct investment, FDI. Since 2008, FDI has decreased from 3.6% to 1.4% of GDP. Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Singapore, Vietnam, and China have all outpaced India in the race to industrialize. However, a mix of global and local factors is now providing India with an opportunity to catch up. Globally, manufacturers are seeking to reduce the dependence on China, which opens doors for India. Domestically, the government, led by Prime Minister Modi, is aiming for widespread prosperity that extends beyond the tech sector alone. Recent investments in infrastructure like highways, railroads, and ports, along with regulatory reforms, have started to remove the barriers that previously deterred foreign investors. Investing in human capital, improving education and skills can tackle several challenges India faces, such as the need for a more skilled workforce and creating good jobs for its growing population. Education and training are important for the long-term growth and competitiveness of the Indian economy. A well-educated and skilled workforce is important for attracting investments, encouraging innovation, and enhancing productivity. And to achieve these goals, the government needs to allocate more resources to education and make it a priority in its budgeting and policy making. Reforming the education system and increasing investment in human capital are essential steps for India to become a leading global economy and secure a prosperous future for its citizens. That's all we have for you today at Economy Obsession. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful videos, and we'll be back soon.